What's up, guys? It's Jeremy Kamikaze Myers coming from Austin, Texas, repping the School of Fight shirt, of course. Since we last talked, yes, I moved to Austin from Arcata, California. I moved to Arcata, California for about a month, and then I moved to Austin. One of my sponsors, Tucker Max, hit me up. He's actually a writer. New book comes out Tuesday. I have the cover messed up, but yeah, Hilarity Ensues. Tucker Max, really fun book so far. Like all of his stuff, if you read it. Hit me up and pretty much was like, do you really want to do this? Arcata is probably not the best place to do it, and offered to move me down here. So I think that was on a Wednesday, and I was here on Saturday. Moved here with literally with one bag, and yeah, it's worked out great so far. So really helped me out on that. Is Texas what I thought it would be, and how do I like it? No, it's not what I thought it would be, and I love it. I didn't have a lot of expectations, I guess, really. I just didn't have time to think about it because it happened so quick, but I guess I had kind of the stereotypes in my head of what people think Texas is, and I haven't been all over Texas, but Austin definitely isn't what you would think. It's a college town, UT campus, so it's really cool. Yeah, I love it so far. I love the weather. No snow. Where am I training at now? Helson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Austin. It's pretty much a perfect fit for me. I get my MMA in there. There's some good Thai coaches there. And obviously the Jiu-Jitsu, which if you've ever seen me fight or you know me at all, sort of an area that I need to improve on. Training partners, yeah. Eve Edwards is in there somewhat regularly. I've actually got to work out with him a few times, which is really cool. Because, the first DVD I ever bought of the UFC had him on it. When I was like 16, I had never trained at all. He was already in the UFC, so just to train with him is really cool. Tim Kennedy's in there all the time. I don't work out with him. He's an 85er. And then a lot of the amateurs in there are really good. They're just, these guys are monsters. Trey's a brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Travis doesn't even fight MMA, and he's a brown belt and just a really good wrestler for someone who's never wrestled. Jason's got really good hands, really smooth. He's about my level on the ground, so we're really good sparring partners. And then Brett Ewing just moved down here from Ohio, and he's a really good wrestler, obviously, if you know Brett. And once me and him get in a fight camp, and turn it up the heat and stuff when training, I think that me and him's going to end up being a really good partnership down here. What's it like training with elite fighters of that caliber, and do I think it's helping elevate my game? Yeah, I think the best thing about it is that that's what you deal with every day. If you're used to brown belt level jiu-jitsu, then blue belt level jiu-jitsu and whatever you run into in a typical MMA fight isn't really, it's something that, isn't shocking to you, and there's nothing that, a blue belt's going to throw up at me that I don't see on a much higher level every day. Yeah, training with guys like that shows you where you are. You can pick up a lot from them, if you're willing to ask and figure out what they're doing to you. Yeah, it's helped me a ton working out with those guys every day. Just training with some really tough guys down here. Just had my first pro fight in Texas. How did it feel to get the Texas debut out of the way? It's a good way to put it, getting it out of the way. They had some different medicals. It was a pain getting all these medicals done, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to win this fight, and I wanted to win it dominantly. I had no intention of going out there and winning a unanimous decision, which is what happened. But I wanted to really make a statement. I knew I couldn't lose this fight. I lose that fight, my career is, I don't want to say over, but it's a problem. You can't have a losing record in this sport. I came in 3-3 to that fight, and I really put in a really good camp. I dieted, I trained, every day. It was an awesome camp, and I've always kind of said, if I was able to do that, to train, pretty much full time and eat right and do everything right that I wanted to, that nobody's gonna beat me, and kind of being able to do it, puts a lot of pressure on yourself because you say that, anybody can say that. When you actually do it, it's kind of like a test to yourself. Am I actually that good? If I put this time in, am I going to win? Am I going to get the results I want? So yeah, I felt a little more nervous for this fight than I've ever felt, just because I put a lot of pressure on myself, but got the W. Yeah, it went all right. Not the performance that I wanted, but a win's a win, you know. Let's see what else. Yeah, Randy Villarreal, he came after me. You know, I knew he would. He didn't shock me with that. You know, that's his style. He's an aggressive guy, and if you've ever seen him fight, he's in fights, you know, high-paced fights, and you know he likes to exchange. And yeah, it was just he came out fast, and it wasn't that he shocked me or anything. He caught me early. He caught a kick because we're both southpaws. I threw an outside leg kick. He caught it and tagged me with a left, put me on my back. He didn't drop me. I mean, the punch landed solid for sure, but it was just I was on one foot. You know, he knocked me down, and it was 3-minute rounds. So to get on your back that early was just, I mean, it couldn't have been. There's no worst case scenario. You know, that's exactly why I didn't want to happen. So yeah, he came after me. You know, I give him all the respect in the world. He definitely came after me, but yeah, I was able to weather that little storm. Did the fact that he had 14 pro fights affect me at all? No. He had, if you add up my amateur and pro fights and you add up his amateur and pro fights, he had a few more fights than me, which is a lot. I mean, I have over 20 fights, and so does he. But at that, once you have over 20 fights, once you have over 10 fights, you know, that doesn't matter. I could fight someone 5, 10 fights, 100. It doesn't matter. That didn't really affect me. The way that the event turned out, it was awesome. Element Fighting Championships was one of the smoothest shows I've ever fought for. As a pro, it may be the smoothest show I've ever fought for. I mean, NWFS was ran really efficiently like that, but I never actually got to fight for them. 1 second. Sorry, I have this interview up on the TV. I just blacked out. Yeah, it went really smooth. Yeah, I loved fighting for him, and definitely I would love to fight for him again. If they want to have me back, I'm going to have every intention of fighting for him again. I think they're having a show in May. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I want on that card, so if they'll put me on it, definitely would like to fight for them again. Last minute shout outs. Shout out Tucker Max, obviously did a big favor to me and helped me out a lot in my life and in my career by moving me here. Everybody back in Dayton, Walker MMA, you know, that's kind of what made me who I am as a fighter, you know, Rob Walker. I mean, that's my Thai coach. Vision MMA, worked out with those guys for a long time, and they got some really good training there. Everybody back home, my mom, my brother, London. I know I'm a stressful guy to deal with as far as trying to manage somebody. So yeah, thanks to everybody who supports me, and I'll talk to you guys after the next win.